Everyone, what's going on? Joe back here to bring you another episode of me talking about last night's playoff games. Today Mike will not be joining us, so I'll be doing NBA and NHL both in this one video. Let's get started with the NBA 3:30 game, the Pacers and the Bucks. I was aware of this 3:30 game, unlike the Thunder one the other day. Which is so weird, right? That they did the 3:30 for the Western team. I didn't even think of that till right now. They should have been Celtics for the 3:30, but who cares? So coming into this, I didn't even realize the Pacers had 9 straight home wins. I'm not sure if we're talking playoffs here. I don't think anyone can even go back that far or into the regular season, but that does not change here. Halliburton and Turner fuel that first period for the Pacers. Great job by both of them. Halliburton was with a series of threes. He had some nice assists, particularly to Turner. He got a really great double coverage contested three, a dunk, block. Those guys looked really nice. Brunson, this is what I got to say about Jalen Brunson. Every game he treats the first quarter like the Mavericks treat the first game of the playoffs, i.e., just doesn't even show up. It's like he's trying to what's the word I'm looking for here? Get a measurement on him. You know what I'm saying? Like feel out the competition, and he does that every game in the first quarter. And you can't really do that if you're the superstar for your team. So I mean, it seemed to have worked out for him in the past because he was winning all these games. He's getting 40 points, but it's kind of biting him in the ass right now, if you ask me. It was almost a 20-point lead for the Pacers after the first. It was a rape at Nan King, I'll tell you that right now. They have double the Knicks score, 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Alec Burks off the bench again provides a boost for the Knicks. Just Thibodeau. How does that feel? Huh? I fucking love Thibodeau. I mean, he's not going to learn from this. He's not. Mike makes a great point. Why would he change up what he does now? But I love his horribly flawed method biting him in the ass. Because had like Alec Burks is playing very, very well. And maybe if you put him in a little more often, OG Anunoby would still be on your team. But I digress. Um, and then Halliburton, basically a buzzer beater. There are 4 seconds left. They give him a 28-point lead at half. I know personally I was looking for the 32 because no one's ever come back from 32. The record is 31 Clippers and Warriors in 2019. And Siakam was the one who gave them that 32-point lead. He's stolen inbound from the Knicks in the third, gives them the 32, and I had to stop paying attention. It was a bloodbath. Let's just get down to the stats real quick. Highest scorer. Can you guess who it was for the Knicks? Can you guess? It was Alec Burks. That's who it was. It was Alec Burks, actually. A bench player. Tom Thibodeau. What? So obviously that nothing's going to change, but it should based off of that fact. Brunson, 18 points. McBride, 16 points. DiVincenzo, 7, aging very poorly for me right now, in my opinion, with Mike. Hart only played for 24 minutes. That leads me to think maybe he got injured. I don't know. I don't know why he played 24 minutes. If he did get injured, I apologize for laughing because it's just I'm the reason I say it is like he shouldn't have been playing in the fourth quarter because it was already a blowout. But God knows that Thibodeau probably would out of all the coaches in the NBA. Ass face. Hartenstein also only played 22 minutes. We got to look into what happened to those players. Actually, I could honestly Josh Hart's a solid enough name. I can probably look it up, right? Just look up Josh Hart. Make sure my guy didn't get hurt. Um, I don't think he did. No. Nope. No. No, didn't get hurt. All right, perfect. So he actually pulled Josh Hart. He actually played him only less minutes. So great, great. Rest him for game 5. Obviously, I don't want the Knicks to advance. But obviously, I don't want any players hurt. So beat them fair and square. Get OG Anunoby back, hopefully. But doesn't sound good for him. Anyways, on to the Pacers. 6 double-digit scores led by Halliburton. He had 20. McConnell, with 10 assists and 15 points. So very, very widespread scoring from the Pacers. Like I said, their second highest score was 15. Their lead score was 20. And that was how much Josh Hart had. And he was there. I'm sorry, not Josh Hart. Alec Burks had, and he was their lead scorer. So the top 2 scores for the teams outscored. The Pacers got outscored, but the final, I can't believe I didn't write down the final just because it was so blasphemous. 121 to 89. Yeah. And it was all around for the Pacers, and it was pretty all around for the Knicks. But yeah, Brunson sub 20 game. I think this might be his first, honestly. Pacers have 57% from the field to 34%, 45 to 19 from three. Ugh, it felt like it was more than 50 for the Pacers. Maybe the bench started bricking in the fourth. I don't know. But either way, this is going back to the Garden, so all bets are off. Obviously, the Garden atmosphere is very, very, very rough. And it could be a home team wins kind of series. And if that's the case, then this goes to seven and the Knicks win. Obviously the Pacers with 10 straight wins at home are either due or have proved that they're really, really good at home. Um, and MSG is MSG. The Pacers are gonna have to steal one here if they want the series. And if they win game five, and the Knicks team is exhausted and they keep the Knicks out there playing Thibodeau ass face, I could see a very real possibility of the Pacers in six, but we'll see. I think the series could still go either way. Speaking of series that could, this one I think the fortunes have reversed on the Knicks. I'm sorry, on the Timberwolves and the Nuggets series. The Timbies start strong. All Edwards. Edwards has like 12. The rest, I think no, I think Edwards had like 18. And the rest of the team had 6 or some crap. The Nuggets steamroll the rest of the first. Jokic is going off early. He gets 19 in the first half. Um, Edwards is making some dumb shit, like dumb good plays, like like he shouldn't get that. Getting all in on the paint and these 3 pointers, like he's going wherever he wants, doing whatever he wants to do. It was really freaking crazy. There was one moment in the first half that I really enjoyed. It was when Jokic had the ball and Gobert started covering him. That place got friggin' loud. He got Defensive Player of the Year. Did he win it this year? I know he's former, but I forget. Obviously a candidate, Gobert. Versus the MVP. And he wasn't allowing Jokic to get a shot off. Unfortunately for him, Jokic won that battle though. He got it into Gordon, who had himself a great night. Gordon gets a dunk here, but great atmosphere in Minnesota in that moment. The Timbies had a chance to come away with I think a 7 point deficit in the half, and then I forgot who gets the three for the Nuggets. Because Edward, it was a 10 point deficit. Then Edwards got a three, and then the Nuggets got a three, I think, and then the Timbies turn it over, and Porter takes it down with seconds left, gets him down two, and then they turn it over again, I'm pretty sure, and Murray half court buzzer beater, they're down 15. So they doubled their deficit in that frame. That frame is what lost them this game. That frame is what lost them this game. If that didn't happen, they were down seven, and over the course of the rest of the game, the Timberwolves were outplaying the Nuggets, and they just couldn't make up all the points they had gone down by. This moment changed the game. These like mere seconds, it's crazy. Murray feels off of that three. He gets 12 points in the third. He gets a total of 19 in the game. So I don't think he scored anything in the fourth. But fresh off of that three, he gets 12, like I said. Edwards is able to erase the deficit from pain from the three. The answers are out of hand against him, unfortunately, but he does power the Timberwolves to have more points in the third than the Nuggets. They like get within striking range, but at the end of the day, the Nuggets pull away from it. I don't think the deficit was more than like 6 at any point. Less than 6, less than 6. Jokic with a 35 point show. Obviously, we didn't talk much about Jokic here, but he's just doing Jokic things. You're gonna see Jokic get, and any night where Jokic doesn't get a 30 point is noteworthy more than Jokic getting 30. You know what I'm saying? But Jokic has 35. Gordon has 27. Like I said, Gordon was playing very, very well. Murray already talked about 19. Braun and Holiday off the bench combined for 21. Obviously the Nuggets bench isn't their strong suit, but they play very well. Reggie Jackson also had I think 6, but I wasn't including him in that stat. Um, Anthony Edwards 44. So they waste a golden opportunity. Edwards game. Conley 15. Gobert 14 rebounds, 11 points. I don't know how much Towns had, but obviously it wasn't nearly enough. Karl-Anthony Towns, you are a star as well. Anthony Edwards is a superstar. Towns, you're a star. You have to you have to play these games. This loss is on you mainly. I would say Towns because if you just do what a star is supposed to do in this game, and while Edwards puts up 40 fucking 4, which is beyond what a superstar is supposed to do. What Jokic did was what a superstar is supposed to do per game. What Edwards did is beyond. And Towns just had nothing to say in this game. So 54 40, I'm sorry, 57-47 Nuggets lead that in the for the field percentage. The Timberwolves missed a lot of free throws. I think they had 18 out of 27. If they made those, obviously different game. Um, Timberwolves actually out rebounded them 42-31. Thank Rudy Gobert for that, but didn't show in the final score, obviously. Yep, and now they're going back to Denver, and the series is tied up. Timbys are in a rough spot. And it sucks because I really want the Wolves to advance. I'd really like to see the Nuggets get eliminated here because I don't think the Mavs or the Thunder can beat them. Um, and now they gotta go. Now they're going home. So the Timberwolves has got to show like they're pissed. You got to be pissed about blowing 2 games at home and having them tie up the series. You got to be mad, and that's how you got to play. And if they play like that, then I think they have a chance. They have a chance, but I still think that the Nuggets are going to be able to pull this out. The Timberwolves might not win a game again. I think it might be home court wins from here on out because they're all on 4. So I just think that's just kind of how it's going to go. But we'll see. We'll see. That's what I said for the other series too. So could definitely be wrong on that. All right. So wait. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, they're both tied. But both series started 2-0 and now they're tied 2-2. This is so crazy. All right. It's time to talk about the Bruins. Well, let me just go down the list. All right. So we're gonna start talking about that crazy open ice hit from McAvoy on Sam Reinhart to begin the game. That was a great hit. I loved it. Set the tone. I didn't expect that coming out. Rodriguez really close. Tries to get it in there. Swayman with a great save. Pasternak does like a face wipe to Lundell. Very undisciplined. Because we were hard hitting, right? We came out swinging, and then he just does some dumb shit like that, like trying to stay physical. Like, oh, I could do too. And friggin' takes a penalty. It was really, really bad. There was one point, I think it was on the Panthers power play, where the puck hits Swayman, and it goes above him, and he goes to catch it like that. He goes to catch it like this, and it like misses him and lands in the paint, and they all dive at it. It was so scary. That was crazy. Um, then the Panthers get a power. I'm sorry, the Bruins get a power play, and we score our first power play goal of the series. I'm pretty sure. Definitely Pasternak's first power play goal of the series. Set up in his office. This is what we expect to see from Pasternak. Great, great play here. And then Montgomery on the bench after shakes him. He's like, "Yeah, like that, didn't you? Didn't you?" And I love that. I hate the dump and chase. Let me just say right now, I thought we were done with the dump and chase when Cassidy left. That is not the case here. We are dumping and chasing all over the fucking Panthers. It pisses me off, but they end up actually turning it over on one of these dump and chases, and Carlo gets a goal. Carlo has 3 goals for the Bruins. That's 1 less than Pasternak. That's the same as Marchand. How the hell is Carlo this high in our goal score? Because I think he had 2 and 60 some odd games before this in the playoffs, and right now, he has 3. Bobrovsky had no time to prep for that. So I think it was a weak goal, but he had no time to prep. If Carlo was sitting there for a sec, then shot it, but Carlo shot it really quickly off the turnover. And Rodriguez, I'm gonna have to say again, Rodriguez is he's everywhere, man. I always thought he was an underrated player on the Penguins' 4th line, and he's really flourished here in Florida. I kind of pisses me off because I liked seeing him as more of an underrated player, and now it's very obvious how great he is. But yeah, 15-5 shot for Florida though in the period. We'll see how this ages. Danton Heinen had a great breakaway. Or he was in alone. He was in alone. Frederick set it up for him. I think Coyle set up Frederick. It was this line might be what Coyle needs to get going. Bobrovsky's able to save the goal from Heinen, and then Coyle gets a breakaway and misses the net high. And DeBrusk gets a breakaway and misses the net wide. Breakaways don't count if you don't hit the net, Duddy. Get your shots on net. Get your shots. This has been your issue the whole series. Now you're in there alone and you can't get a shot on net. It's getting pretty bad. So between those 2 breakaways, though, however, Lund. I forget this goal. I completely forget this goal, but I have it written down here. I think it was on the right side. Lundell beats Swayman with a 5-hole. This was their 27th shot on net. Swayman saved the first 26, so Good job, Swayman. You're keeping us in this one a freaking again. Um, and then more signs from our rookies. Wotherspoon with a great shot, and Zaka redirects it. Bobrovsky's able to save it. Second attempt, great chance. This is the Bruins' best offensive period in a while. Maybe I mean the first game was all right. Obviously we got 5 goals, but a lot of that was for some rust from Bobrovsky. A lot of that was our chances going in and not depth of chances. The second period, we had a lot of chances. So good job, good job. The Heinen, Coyle, Frederick line, more and more pressure from these guys. This is, I think, where Coyle needs to stay, especially for Game 5, even if that's our last game here. And then what is it? Okay. So the Panthers get a power play. Okay, yeah, okay, I know where we are. Now here we are. Here we are. There was this point in the power play where Montour, man, this whole thing could have been avoided if it wasn't for Montour. He dives to keep the puck in. It was very impressive play. He gets it to Tarasenko eventually. The Tarasenko shot injures Peak, so Peak is down, and it ends up in front of Swayman. Sam Bennett cross checks Coyle into Swayman, gets the puck and scores. And the Bruins immediately challenge this. The announcers are all like, yep. And you can look in the damn rule book and they don't overturn the call. Failed coach's challenge. This is absolute. I don't have a word for it. It's the most psychotic thing of all time. Sam Bennett, obviously the guy that took out Marchand and didn't get disciplined, came in game 3, missed the first 2 games, and both games has made some asshole play. Now, it's hard, all right? So, obviously, the Bruins end up losing this game. We're going to get more into that. I will say it's hard to blame a team, to blame the refs when your team doesn't put up more than 18 shots in a game and not more than 2 in the third period, even with an empty net, 0 shots on net from the Bruins. It's hard to completely blame the refs, all right? But this call, if this call screwed anyone, it's Swayman. Swayman was having a fire night. Not only do they allow that Bennett goal to go in and say that's a good goal, even because what they said, they ended up saying, they put out like a tweet or something that said they saw the contact that Bennett had on Coyle and that he made contact with Swayman. They didn't think, however, it was enough to prevent Swayman from playing his position. And to that I say, how the hell are you? That's a joke. That's an actual freaking joke. Because if you look at the play, he's cross-checked. Well, first of all, okay, so this is point A. Coyle gets cross-checked into Swayman's right side. The puck goes in by the right post. How the hell is he supposed to move to the right with Coyle on top of him? Now, would Swayman have made that save? Probably not, to be honest with you. But Coyle would have been there defensively, and you never know. So, Bennett would have metaphorically screwed himself out of a goal. And that's what happens. But here's the B point. Even if that wasn't enough contact, which it was, even if it wasn't enough contact to hinder Swayman, that's a cross check. You call that. That's a Bruins power. I wasn't even mad about that because I was so mad about the initial call. There was 2 seconds left on that power play for Florida. And it is a cross check that you are reviewing. So people get on the refs, right? And people defend the refs. I defend the refs a lot. It's a hard gig. You miss things. You see things for what they aren't. This is one of those situations where that's just not the case. It's one of those situations where they're seeing every possible angle and getting advice from the home base in Toronto. And they make this call. So it's not like they missed anything or had to make a decision in the whim of the moment. They had time to look at this, and they made that call. And as I say it out loud, now I know Toronto's still just pissed. Toronto's still just pissed at us. And I mean, I don't even know what to say. We end up killing off the ensuing power play, but then Barkov gets a chance in the slot, and Barkov scores. At this point, I shut off the game, but like I said, I didn't miss much in terms of the Bruins doing freaking anything. Let me see. 5 shots in the first, 11 in the second. Like I said, good second period. Actual great freaking second period. But let me. Great second period. However, third period, 2 shots. 13-2. 13-2. Oh, look at the total. Look at how big that red ass line is, dude. So you're telling me Swayman made 38 saves. 38 saves, and you lose the fucking game for him? Unbelievable. All right, so let's see. Chuck had 7 shots. Jesus, Murphy. 7? None of them went in. Does he have a plus minus? Yeah, no, he doesn't even have a plus minus. Um, Rodriguez had 5 on that. I told you Rodriguez was everywhere tonight. Bennett and Tarasenko have 4 each. No one really. Oh, okay. Ekblad 6 hits. Like I said, Ekblad has woken up this series. Mikola 5 hits. Bruins, God, let it be above 3. No shots for Beecher, Van Riemsdyk, Geeky, Brezo, Maroon. Oh my God, I think it might be 3. It's Heinen and Coyle each with 3. So Heinen does come back. This is great. Marchand is injured and out because of Sam Bennett. I don't think we went over that, and Heinen is in for him. Doesn't look like Marchand's going to be back. It looks like a concussion to me. He flew down to Florida, but I don't think. Frederick had 6 hits. Lauko with 4. McAvoy with 6. McAvoy with 5 blocks. Good job on the blocks, Mac, but you had a -2, so really good job. I don't know. The only person with a plus tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. Lindholm and Carlo had pluses. So good job, boys. But like I said, I'm not that guy who goes out and complains about the refs. I've been doing this long enough that you know that. And it's really hard because like I'm not really doing this in any other series. It's happening with the Bruins, right? It's all happening with the Bruins, but I feel like that's the general consensus that the reffing in this series has been just absolute ludicrous. Even the Toronto series. But guess what? I even said that Toronto had some bad calls, like against them. I even gave them the benefit of the doubt. Difference here, Florida is not getting those calls. Last thing I'll say before I go. Game 1, Bruins penalties 3, Panthers 2. Panthers 3, Bruins 6. Panthers 2, Bruins 6. Panthers 2, Bruins 6. This game, I forget, but I know Bruins had 6. Because I know when I shut off the game in the third, by the way, they had 2 to 3 more power plays after that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not gonna lead you down a path with that. I'm not gonna say that's why we lost the game because we didn't deserve to win the game, but somehow the team that doesn't deserve to win sometimes wins. That's how this night should have gone, in my opinion. But we'll see. Because, like I said, I have no cup aspirations. I have no belief we're gonna make the third round, anyways, even with a win tonight or last night. I can only imagine how mad I'd be if I felt that if I didn't feel that way. But yeah, let's just move on. Oilers. Oilers power play killed off for 145. Slick Evander Kane pass to Matthias Ekholm. And Ekholm easy one-timer past Seelovs. So I can't really complain on this because, like, obviously the Oilers power play is Oilers power playing. But why the hell are Nurse and Ekholm on the same power play? And why is Ryan McLeod out there? I just don't think these are your power play guys. At least not at the same time. You get Ekholm for 1, you get Bouchard for 1. Nurse should never see the light of day on the power play, let alone being out there with another defenseman. And you have better options than McLeod. Especially if you're using 2 defensemen on your power plays. I don't. Can't really complain because, they're doing fine, but I just found that a little odd. Nucks get their own power play. Brock Besser from the blue line score. They find out later it was actually tipped by Elias Lindholm, but they don't find this out until the first intermission. That will be relevant in a second. Speaking of Brock Besser, who got that assist thought to be goal, he gets a second. Just straight up beats Skinner. Skinner had no what do I say? He had no chance. He had every chance in the world to save this. There was no screen. He just shot it to the right of him. Oilers goaltending moment. Evander Kane came out. He had a series of odd man rushes. He almost scored twice. It was pretty great. The first one hit the crossbar. The second one, a slot save from Seelovs. Then back in the Oilers zone late in the period, Warren Foegele, ugly turnover. They just got the puck back after a Quinn Hughes shot. Foegele passes it right onto the stick of Pius Suter, who gives it to Besser for a 5-hole shot. And what everyone thought at that point was a hat trick. Luckily, we were away for this, so there weren't that many hats on the ice, but those hats were thrown for no reason. Um, was not a hat trick. Elias Lindholm got the first goal. I feel like they screwed him because, like, you think about it, man. Like, they waited so long because it was an early goal. It was like the first, like, definitely the first 10 minutes that the Lindholm goal went in, and they didn't review it till intermission, and that would have saved some people their hats. Rogers Place, they should have given back their hats. That's what I thought. I was saying, I'm like, dude, there was like 5 hats on the ice. It's not that hard to find those guys. But poor bastards. I feel bad. I feel really, really bad. I hope they gave him a discount because I don't know how it works at other arenas, but I know TD Garden gives you like a 33 or some crap percent discount. Yeah, because 33% discount. When someone gets a hat trick, I hope they gave those few unlucky fans that discount because that's very unfortunate to get an Oilers hat, even though they're a Canucks fan. But anyways, it's still a 3-1 lead, so the Canucks are all happy in themselves, and every Canucks fan at home does not give a shit. And then second period starts. Delorier beats Artur Silovs. His name's Artur, right? I just came out like that. And Derek Ryan gets. Oh no, this is at the end of the period. This is at the end of the period, like dying seconds. Derek Ryan gets a stick on it in the paint to put it in and finish it up. Artur Silovs grabs Derek Ryan's stick, and the refs miss it. So there you go. There's a horrible fucking call against the Oilers. That should have been a call. Shelovs held his stick and no call. So I can confirm no bias. Even though I don't really care who wins this series. I kind of want the Oilers to just because I feel like the Oilers can have more in them to because I want the Canucks to win the cup more, but I believe in them a lot less against Dallas/Colorado than the Oilers. So go Oilers, but at the same time, Canucks. If I could magically make you the cup winners right now over Edmonton, I freaking would. So both you guys win there. Um, and then okay, so here's a crazy sequence. Corey Perry almost goes in. I'm not sure if it was off of a Hronek kick or Perry, but it goes, it bounces, and Seelovs. I thought it was a really embarrassing moment for Hronek and Seelovs. However, the way that it works out is Seelovs gets it. And I think it actually does fully cross the goal line, but the call on the ice is no goal. And there's nothing to overturn that. None of the angles. You can speculate that it went fully over before he got a glove on it, but what a freaking stop by Seelovs. Got lucky there. I think if it was called a goal on the ice, it would have not have been overturned. But unfortunately, and this is the part that pisses me off, it counted for not. Because Hronek went to the box on this play for holding Perry, and Draisaitl scores an impossible angle one-timer. So it doesn't even matter. But I mean, you put the Oilers on the power play, you give them the fucking goal anyways. You know what I'm saying? They're just such a great power play. Um, but yeah, great save by Seelovs. I don't think he actually saved it, but that's what they're calling it. So, but I do think it's a good call. I do think it's a good call because you can't tell if it got There's no, what is it called, indisputable evidence like there was on a certain other call. Oh, I meant to add Morgan Geekie got a goaltender interference call later in the game. The um. So, anyways, Oilers. What's the score now? Is it 3-2? It's 3-2. They continue to pressure. That's right. The top line was going nuts. McDavid takes out a guy. Hyman passes for Draisaitl. Draisaitl in alone off the post, and then somehow that same sequence, I'm pretty sure the Canucks take it back. McDavid gets it back. Draisaitl's in alone again, and Seelovs has to make a save. He probably hates his boys right now. They do end up going on the power play though. Lindholm gets it in from Miller. It's actually great. Miller's at the blue line. He shoots it in. Lindholm sees it in front of him, kicks it to his stick, and past Skinner. Skinner, go to Guangdong. Like, I was trying to say maybe that the Oilers had found their guy, and they clearly have not. They're not getting. I think the winner of the Dallas Avalanche series is making it past this. Honestly, if Skinner's playing like this, all they need is Skinner to play better, and they have a great shot in that series. It's asking for a lot, apparently. Um, so something I noticed as well, by the way. So a 4-on-4 develops later in the period. I think it's like 1 minute left, so it goes into the third. It felt like an Oilers power play. because the open ice, they can use that to their advantage, the top guys. I think the Oilers can totally use this to their advantage. They take a penalty to cost a penalty, create 4-on-4 hockey, and just go from there. I think that would be ingenious from the Oilers. It would be a hell of a plan. It would be really, really sneaky. I would enjoy seeing it because I would enjoy talking about it. Like I'd be like, "Oh, they did the thing." That's my advice to you, Oilers. That's my advice. Speaking of Skinner not being the guy, Calvin Pickard goes in and replaces him and allows no goals on 3 shots. The Canucks pull the Bruins, but for the Canucks, however, they had a 2-goal lead at this point. So, oh, by the way, Lindholm also has 2 goals now. So Besser and Lindholm have 2 goals. Besser has 3 points. I'm not sure about Lindholm. But Oilers, like I said, they completely control the game from here on out. There was one point, it was so weird. Okay, actually, let's talk about this first. Um, JT Miller almost had a Colton Sissons moment. If you remember in the Nashville series, Colton Sissons, Nashville had the lead. It was that game that Besser had the 2-goal comeback. He hit it off the post for the empty net, and the Canucks came back and won. And instead of the series being tied 2-2, the Canucks led 3-1. So big miss there from Colton Sissons. JT Miller from his own end goes off the post on the empty netter, and then Ekholm scores. Or should I say Ian Cole scores. Ian Cole, I think, has scored 3 goals against the Canucks this series. I swear. Last game was very, very obvious. This game it went off his chest. And I saw a comment somewhere saying that he did it in game 1, but it's less talked about because no one was paying attention to that one. It wasn't as bad. So yeah. Ian Cole, you suck, dude. Like, you are going to the AHL next year. Like, this is unacceptable. Obviously, this wasn't his fault. However, it's a lot of things. It's positioning. It's just being on the ice for it. The other one was completely his fault. Game 2 was completely his fault. But yep, Ekholm scores. It's 4-3. The Oilers continue. Oh yeah. So then I'm not sure why they did this. Someone answer in the comments if you watch this video, at least even this far into the video. They end up putting the goalie back in the net, right? But it's Stuart Skinner. They pulled Picard and put Skinner. Do they think Skinner's faster skating to the bench? I don't know. Because obviously when the Oilers win the faceoff, he just leaves the ice again. I don't know. And if the Canucks won the faceoff, then they would be pressuring Skinner, who you pulled earlier because he was sucking. I don't know why they did that. It doesn't matter to anything because the Oilers win the faceoff and Skinner goes off again. But that was really, really confusing to me. But then game over. You think it's all said and done, but no. Carton Soucy with a really, really dirty cross check to the face of McDavid. He and Hronek both bully McDavid. I'm pretty sure it was Hronek. Hronek got slapped with a fine. Soucy is having a hearing today. I don't know if it's in person or over the phone, but he should get suspended. I think Carton Soucy should get suspended. If he doesn't, then I have a bone to pick somewhere else in the league, and that would actually honestly feel pretty dang good because I was checking if he got suspended already. I was checking the things. That would make me mad at an Oilers call and say the refs are against the Oilers more so than the Bruins. Well, not more so, but instead of just the Bruins goes. But anyways, I think that is all. The Canucks lead that series 2-1. Florida leads their series 3-1, which I expected, but the way we got here is very frustrating. And both of the NBA series we discussed today are tied 2-2. Tonight, the Celtics are up 2-1 in their series. And what other series? Oh, the Thunder. The Mavericks are up in that. That's probably tonight as well. In terms of NHL, we got the Canes, right? We got Canes tonight. Yeah, we got Canes game 5. They're down 3-1, and game 4, Dallas leads 2-1 over the Avalanche. So some great action tonight, and I will talk to you guys about it tomorrow.